Hi, welcome back to Mr. Stewart's Lessons with a new and improved health bar lesson. The health bar lesson wasn't really as good as it could have been because, among other things, it went all the way down right away when you hit a banana instead of only going down 1 point when you hit a banana, which is what most people probably want. So I'm going to change this lesson so it only goes down 1 point when you hit a banana. So what I'm going to do, and just to explain what the health bar is, we're going to have a health bar right here. It's going to be a red rectangle, right, say about 80 pixels wide and 15 pixels high. It's going to lose 20 pixels every time you get hit with a banana, and then it's going to have a white rectangle around it, which means the whole thing is actually going to be 82 pixels wide and 17 pixels high. So I'm going to create a new subclass, a new actor for the health bar. I'm going to call it health bar. Okay, and I'm going to open the code window for the health bar so I can actually draw it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a few variables. First is the health of the ship. So say I can get hit by 4 bananas before I die. That's going to give me a health of 4. One more thing I forgot. Actually, we're going to change color. So up here, I'm going to put in import java.awt.color because I'm going to have to draw something with colors. Anytime you draw something with colors, you have to import this here. Okay, let's go back to creating the variables. I'm going to create a variable that's going to represent the width of my health bar. This is a new thing. This way you can change this very easily instead of having to go through and change it in the whole code. So I'm going to want my health bar to be 80 pixels wide, and I have to make sure when I create a variable that I say that they're integers, of course, which I forgot to do. So I'm going to say int health equals 4, int health bar width equals 80. I'm going to say int health bar height equals 15. Okay, so this 80 is the width of just the red rectangle itself, and 15 is the height of just the red rectangle itself. I misspelled health there. Let me fix that. Okay. Now I'm going to make one more variable. This variable is going to represent how many pixels each point of health is going to be. So for example, in this case, if I lose a point of health, I want to take 20 pixels off the health bar. So it should only be 60 to represent 3 health. So what I want to do is I have to do a new variable called pixels per health point, for example, okay? And that's going to equal to the health bar width divided by the health, right? In this case, that's going to be 80. It's going to be 20. 80 divided by 4. And then let's just make sure it comes out to an integer. Right now it will, but if I change, maybe if I made this 85, that's going to come out to a decimal, which we don't want. So I have to make sure that's definitely going to come out to it's definitely going to come out to an integer. If you put int in parentheses before a mathematical operation, it changes, or before anything, it changes it to the right kind of variable, which in this case is an integer, which is going to round it off to the nearest whole number. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to go down and I'm going to create the method that actually draws the health bar. So I'm going to say public void update. The update method's actually going to draw the health bar. So what I'm going to do here, first I have to make a new image. So I'm going to say set image new. Okay, this just creates a new image, and all it's going to be is it's just going to have a width. We're just going to make a width in pixels and a height in pixels, right? So the width is going to be 2 bigger than the width of the health bar. The health bar is 80 pixels wide now. Oh, we want it to be 82. That's because we have a white bar going all the way around it, and we want to represent we need a pixel on either side for that, and then a pixel on the top and the bottom. So it's going to be 2 higher than the height of the health bar. So the width of this is going to be health bar width plus 2, and the height is going to be health bar height plus 2. Okay? So all I've done is create an empty blank image with nothing in it. Now I'm going to draw, first I'm going to draw the white rectangle that goes around it. So first thing I need to do is I need to get the image and assign it to a variable, which I'll call my image of the Greenfoot image type, and equals. So this just gets the image and assigns it to the variable my image so I can do things with it. Now what I want to do is I want to set the color so I can draw to white. So I'm going to do my image so this, right, this color, this is why we needed this java.awt.color up here. So I'm going to set the color to white to draw, and now I'm going to draw a rectangle, an empty white rectangle. So draw rect draws an empty rectangle. So, and it's the way you draw it, you need 4 arguments, which is the first 2 are the coordinates of the upper left hand corner, and the second 2 are the coordinates of the lower right hand corner. So these are the coordinates within the image, right? So right now what we have is an image that's 82 pixels wide, 17 pixels high. So we need to stop in the upper left hand corner of that, start in the upper left hand corner of that image, which is going to be 0, 0. And then we're going to go down to the lower right hand corner of the image. So that means that we need the pixel all the way to the right is going to be health bar width plus 1, not 2, because remember we started counting from 0, so that means we're only going to get up to 81, which is going to be not 82, which is going to be the right corner of it. And then we're going to go to the bottom, which is health bar width height plus 1. Okay, so now what I've done is drawn a white rectangle. That's what my update method does, and we can actually see what this looks like. Forgot to close. We have to do a close parentheses here because I have opened this parentheses. So sorry, you need to, if you haven't done this yet, if you were following me, you're going to want to go through and add an extra parentheses at the end of this set image because there's 2 parentheses here. So let's compile it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to call the update method in my act method just so you guys can see what it looks like when I run it. So I'm going to compile this. I'll create a new health bar and I'll put it. Right now it's just a green foot because there's no image for it yet. But when I run it, you'll see what happens. And there's my empty white rectangle. Now I have to draw a filled red rectangle in it that represents my health. So I'm going to say, now I need to set my color to red. Okay, so now I'm setting the color I'm going to draw to red. Now I'm going to draw a filled rectangle. And draw rect draws an empty rectangle. If you want to draw a filled rectangle, you need to use the fill rect command. Okay, but it's the same sort of argument. So we need to start, right? So the upper left hand corner, well, we want to be inside the white part, right? We don't want to be on top of the white part. So inside the white part in the upper left hand corner is going to be 1, 1. And then the lower right hand corner is going to be the width is going to be our health times the number of pixels per health point. So I'm going to say health times pixels per health point. That's, so this is, if I have full health, it's going to be 4, which is my health, times pixels per health point, which right now is going to be 20, and that's going to give me 80. If I have 3 health, it's going to be 3 times 20, which is going to be 60. And then the height is not going to change, so I'm just going to say health bar height. Okay. So this is actually, we have this whole thing is an improvement now, because now if you want to change the width or height of your health bar or change your health, you can just change these three variables up here. You don't have to change anything down here at all. It'll still work automatically. So that should make your that makes it a lot easier to use. Now what I want to do, I want to make sure when I first see this that it's already drawn. I don't want to have the Greenfoot before I start running the code. So I'm going to say public health bar. This is a constructor that it runs automatically when the image is created. Okay, and when you create a constructor, it has to be the same as the name of whatever the class is. You notice this is health bar, so it's called public health bar. And this will also say update. This will create the image when it runs when it's created automatically. And just to show you now what's going to look like when I create this, I'll create a new health bar and put it in there. And now you see automatically we have our red bar, right? But it does not yet do what we want it to, which is to go down in health when I get hit by a banana. So I need to create a method, first of all, that's going to make me go down in health when I get hit by a banana. So I'm going to say public void lose health. And this is going to just have one method in it, and it's going to say health minus minus. That's going to just go down one health when I call it. And if you want to see how that works when I close it, right? I'll compile this, and you see now if I have my health bar in here, and I click on here, you'll see a lose health method, right? If I click on it, you'll see my health is automatically lower by 1. So now all I have to do is make it so the PyShip calls that method when it runs. And the way to do it is to do it through the space method. So the next part is I'm going to open the space method, and I'm going to create the object so it's automatically added, and then I'm going to make it so the PyShip can call it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a health bar object. So I'll say health bar right, just creating a new object here, a new health bar object, so I can add it just like I would with when I create anything else down here, like when I create the PyShip or anything else. Okay, and down here I'm going to add object. Health bar, we're going to put it at 200, 40, which is going to be right next to the counter object. Okay. Now, in order to be able to lose the health, the PyShip has to be able to get the health bar. And so to get the health bar, I need a method that's going to allow me to do that. So I'm going to say, create a method up here that says public, I'm sorry, it's not a void. It's going to say public health bar get. Now, this health bar, why does it say health bar instead of void? Because this is returning something. This method is returning the health bar to the PyShip, because the PyShip is going to need to call it when it hits it. So this here is going to return the health bar, and so we have to put health bar in here to tell it what we're returning. We usually say void because lots of times we're not returning anything, but when we're returning something, we have to say what we're returning. So now I've created the health bar. Oops, forgot my parentheses here to show that it's a method. So I'm returning my health bar, and all it does is return the health bar. So I'm just going to say return health bar. That's all it has to do. It's just going to return the health bar. Okay, so now we've returned the health bar. This is going to allow the PyShip to call the lose health method. Okay, so we're done working in the space class. We've added it. We now have it so the PyShip can call it. Now we have to work on the PyShip. So I'm going to open up the PyShip's class code window. Sorry. So what I need to do here, and this is, so we're going to put in a new part, right? I'm going to put, up here, I'm going to put a Boolean or true or false variable called touching banana, which is just telling me whether I'm touching a banana or not at the start of the game. Hopefully I'm not touching a banana, so I'm going to say false. Okay, so this is just creating a Boolean variable to make sure that I'm so that I can tell if I'm touching a banana. Because what we're going to do is, if we were just touching a banana last turn, we don't want to lose health again this turn. That's what's going to keep us from losing our health over and over, losing our health all the way down when we get hit by a banana. Then I'm going to come down here to my hit banana method, and I'm going to make some changes here. So right now, you notice that what happens is basically, if I get hit by a banana, that's it, game over, right? That's it. So we want to make it, we want to change it so that's not going to happen. If I get hit by a banana, I only want to, I want to take 1 point of health off, right? And so that means I need to be able to actually get the score counter get the score counter so I can do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, right now I get the world, but I need to do more than just get the world. I need to make my world into the actual space class, because the space class has the get health counter method. And if I want to be able to get the health counter, I've got to have a space, not just the world. Because if I just get the world, I can only do things that world can do, like add objects, but not stuff I made up in that world, like get health counter. So I'm going to say space we're creating a new variable called space, and I'm going to say in parentheses space, and what I've done here is actually exactly the same thing that what I've done here is actually the exact same thing that I did in when I wanted to make my variable into an integer instead of a decimal. I put int before it. Now I'm putting space before it, which is turning my world method, my world variable, into the space type world. Okay, so now it's a space type world, so I can I can get at everything that space can do, which is get the health bar. So now I'm going to create a variable called health bar, which represents my health bar, and I'll do space dot get, and if you look, you see one of my choices is get health bar. There it is, right? If I do control space, right? Now I've got my health bar. So what I can do is when I get hit, I can reduce my health, right? So now we only want to lose health if we weren't touching a banana last turn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say if, and it's going to say this is if we weren't touching a banana last turn, then what I want to do is I want to if we weren't touching a banana last turn, then what I want to do is I want to subtract 1 from my health bar. So I'm going to say and if you see, if I did it right, you should see my lose health method right there, right? So if we weren't touching a banana last turn, then I want to lose the health. And this is the part that everybody was asking for, which makes sure that I was that this only happens if I was actually wasn't touching a banana last turn. Makes sure that I only lose 1 health when I hit a banana. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I know I was touching a banana last turn. So I'm going to say but touching banana equals true. That means I won't lose any more health next turn if I'm still touching the same banana. Once I'm right? And so once I'm not touching the banana anymore, I'll make sure that it's false, and so I can lose health again if I touch a different banana. So then what I want to do, okay, if this might be my last health, right? If health bar dot health less than or equal to 0, whichever should get less than 0, but who knows, let's just make sure. If health bar dot health is less than or equal to 0, then I want to die. So this is the part down here that would have made me die last time and give me my game over. So I'm just going to cut all this part, and I'm going to put that inside here. And just so you understand what this does, right, it creates a new game over. This creates a new game over object, right? This puts a new game over object into the game, and this removes this object from the game. If you don't have a game over for some reason, or you don't want to do that, you could just take this part out and just do remove object this. That's going to remove me from the game. Okay, what if I wasn't touching a banana? If I wasn't touching a banana, I want my touching banana to be false. So I'm going to say else, and I'm going to put it after if banana not equal null. So notice here, that's the end of outside of this one. Else, and we're going to say touching banana equals false. So it's going to go back to being false when I touch a banana. And just to show you what's going to happen here when I compile it, how it works, I'm going to run. See, I hit a banana there. My health went down by 1. Hit a banana again. My health went down again by 1, but it didn't go all the way down, which is mostly what people were asking for. Thank you, and come back soon to Mr. Stewart's Lessons.